Hello there, and welcome to your first day at the thrift store. My name's Abby. How are you? I'm doing very well, thank you. So, are you ready to get started? Okay, wonderful. Well, as you can see, I have some clothes behind me here, and my job for today is inventory. So I'm going to be going through all of these items that we have and just getting them ready to be tagged, and that way they can be put out on the floor, okay? So you're going to be helping me with that. We have a few kids items here and here. We have a few women's, and we do have a few Halloween costumes. So those have been coming in lately as it is getting closer to that time of year where parents are going through their kids' old Halloween costumes and getting rid of what doesn't fit any longer. So do you have any questions before we begin? Okay, so let me just grab a catalog and we will get started, okay? Alright, so anytime we start cataloging new inventoried items, we need to get a catalog, and we do need to log every piece of clothing, okay, that we have here. So we will start on this side. And I'm just going to set this down here real quick. So we will start on this side, and we are going to go through the type of clothing item that it is. And we will also label it as which age group would wear the item. So if it's a child, or women's, or men's, and then we have juniors, okay? So always keep those two things in mind. So I've kind of already organized them. So I have some girls down here, and we have our Halloween here in the middle, okay? And then moving down here is the women's, a few pieces of women's clothing, and move this over here. Okay, then we have our boys. Okay, this is Halloween also. Need to put that right there. Okay. This one I wasn't really sure about. It is a 5T, which would kind of categorize it in the babies or toddlers section, so I might put that in a separate category. I'm not sure. And there are times whenever you will come across some pieces of clothing that you're not really sure where they need to go, but I want to encourage you not to stress about it. We are human, we do make mistakes, and if maybe a women's clothing gets put in the junior section, they get it for the junior price. It's not that big of a deal. So now I'm going to go through the girls right here. So you can see we've got this little jumpsuit, but this can just go under dresses, okay? We do not need to get super specific about things. We are all here as volunteers anyway, so at the end of the day, as long as you do your best, that's all that matters. Okay, I do believe this is a Princess Peach dress. And this will need to go under Halloween as well. Okay. So let's see how many girl pieces we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So we have 11 girl pieces. I do think that this is really pretty. I love the bead designs on this. That is so cute. Okay. So I said 11, right? Okay. So we're just going to grab our catalog and we will turn to the correct page here. Where's the catalogs? I think they're in the back. Okay, these are not really specific either. You can use these for any type of donations that we get. So, like furniture, shoes, any household items. You can feel free to use these for whatever you need, okay? Alright, so we had 11. I made a note there. And let's see how many Halloween. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have 5 Halloween, but it looks like 3 girls and 2 boys. Okay. So 3 girl and 2 boy costumes. Okay. And moving right along to the women's here. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So we have 1 sweater, so I'll just make a category of women's and then I'll put the subcategories underneath that. So 1 sweater, looks like we have 2 skirts and 2 dresses. Alright, and next up we have the boys. I think that I will just go ahead and put this under boys because we do have quite some smaller items that do come up in there a lot of times. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 boy items. Yes, that's just the air conditioner that comes on. Alright, 6 boys. Okay, and usually with the boys and the girls, we don't really subcategorize them just to make our lives a little bit easier, okay? So we just put everything girl related in the girl section and boy related in the boy section, okay? Alright, so now that we have got this cataloged, I'm going to go ahead and make a note at the top that it was me and you who did this catalog. And I'm going to put today's date off to the side of that. That way, if anyone has any questions about any of the catalogs, they can come to the people who made it up, okay? Just adds a little bit of efficiency. Okay, go ahead and put that down. Alright, so our next step here is going to be getting these ready for tagging, okay? So if you look through any clothes that have been previously worn, you'll see that sometimes they can have some stains or pulls in the fabric, just little things like that. Once again, just try your best. Don't worry about it if it is not perfect. So we try our best to make our clothes look as nice as possible when we put them out on the floor, okay? So sometimes that could mean brushing them a little bit. Maybe there's some excess hair or something on a particular piece of clothing. And we also have a lint roller, okay? So these are just a couple of the things that we do to make the clothes as new looking as possible. So, and normally you will catch any of those when you look through the clothes. And a lot of times there's not anything wrong, but occasionally, we do get these articles of clothes that they do just need a little bit of TLC. So everything's looking pretty good to me. And of course, this one being in a bag, we do have to take items out of bags and make sure that there's nothing extra in the bag. Because sometimes things can get put into bags that are not supposed to be there. So we definitely want to check and make sure. So, let's see. Yes, so sometimes, like if someone comes from a home with animals, we want to get that hair off if we can, okay? So just as you see it, once again, does not have to be perfect, okay? You can pull it off the hanger, of course, if it helps you to get get a better look at it. This is a really cute dress. So you get the general idea of that. We'll go ahead and take this off and we will take a look at this. Make sure that everything is okay in here. So here we have the little belt. Put this down. Okay. Alright, so it looks good to me. What do you think? Okay. Yes, it looks fine. I think just give it a little bit. I love how these costumes nowadays have these little boot things at the bottom of the legs. It's just so cute. Go ahead and put this back in the bag as best as I can. in this particular costume. Alright, now what we want to do is we will look over what we have in our catalog here. And we are going to come to the computer and we're going to enter all of this in. Alright. So we're going to look up all of our different items here, and there will be a space for us to input those. Okay, 11 girl, and we'll just ask us for the quantity. Like I said, with the boys and the girl items, we don't have to put in those subcategories like with the women's and the men's clothes. Just to make our lives easier. Once again, down here at the women's, we have one sweater, 2 skirts, 2 dresses. Okay. Alright, 1, 2, and 2. Alright, so I'll go down to the boys. Okay, 6 boys. Alright, and the holiday, which would be Halloween in this case. We have 3 girl and 2 boy costumes. Alright, and that is that. Now, like I said, with the catalog here in the notebook, we will also put our name at the top of this sheet here. Okay, and also we will put the date. Alright, and that is that. Okay, so we have our paper catalog here in the notebook. We've got the digital catalog in our system, and we have all of our clothes here we've gone through. Just make sure I'm not overlooking anything. All of these items that we have here look pretty good to me. They don't look like they have anything major wrong with them, because unfortunately sometimes if we do have something that just looks honestly just kind of bad, we know that it would not sell. We would just have to get rid of it. So these all look like they were taken very good care of. So, alright, well, we have got all of these ready, I think, to be tagged. So that will be handed off to another department. And if you don't have any other questions for me, take these over there, okay? Alright, well, thank you for helping me with